Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Sunil Encha. Today, I will be covering up the topic in Accounting and Finance, second year, SEM 4. The subject which I am covering to cover up is Business Law 3. Under Business Law 3, I would be covering a topic called One Person Company. One Person Company is a new concept under Section 2, subsection 62 of the Companies Act 2000. Definition according to the Companies Act 2013 under section 2 is company which is formed with the only one person as a member, unlike the traditional manner of having at least two members. पहले के ज़माने में होता था कि पर्सन को अगर कोई कंपनी चालू करना रहता है तो ही यूज टू टेक हिज वाइफ और हिज पार्टनर और ब्रदर to form a company for a private limited company. Since the government said that it's to start a new concept, that is one person company, so that he couldn't take the help of any other person. The definition of once again the definition of section 2 subsection 62 under the Companies Act defines a one person company as a company that has only one person as a member of the company. The government of India has referred to the laws of many countries, and they passed the resolution in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and they enacted the act that is called Companies Act 2013. Rule 3 of the Companies Act states that the one person company should be a natural person and should be a resident of India. If you see the particular slides in here, the person is trying to form a company. He has different types of thoughts in his mind ki which type of company he should start, being a single person. The history, how this particular act came into the force, and in 2005 Dr. J.J. Irani committee, who was the head of that particular committee, he had informed to the government that one person company should be incorporated in the parliament. Then this type of concept he had given it to the government, the law ministry. In 2011 and 12, the government was thinking about the company to be started in 2011 and 12. In 2013, the revolutionary concept of one person company was introduced in Companies Act 2013, and the section which has been very important is section 2 subsection 62 of the Companies Act 2013. Coming to the documentation part, what are the documents to be submitted to the ROC is the first and foremost is that to reserve the unique name, that is called run form, RUN. The full form of them is to reservation of the unique name. The one person who wants to start his own company has to reserve his own unique name. He should give 3-4 names to the ROC, and ROC will try to reserve one of the name. The reservation of the names will be kept into the ROC's office for at least 20 days, provided he has to pay some amount to the ROC for reservation of the name. Second is the filing of INC 32 in SPICE, that is called Simplified Proforma for Incorporation of the Company in electronic form. In this case, he has to fill up the form in INC 32, that is, he is willing to start a OPC. Other than that, after filling up the form, he has to file the memorandum of association, the article of association, the consent of the nominee. The consent of the nominee should be taken by the person who is going to start one person company in the written form, and the written form, the consent should be obtained in form number INC 3. Further, there should be following documents which should be attached for filing up for formation of the company is the declaration by the professionals. Here the professionals are chartered accountants or advocates. His declaration is very important, has to be attached to the ROC's office in INC 8. Here the professionals will declare that all the rules and regulations are compiled with, and the rules and regulations are which has been as per the act. This person who is framing the company has given the consent. Second is the declaration of the subscriber, that is the person who is starting his company, in form number INC 9. In this case, the subscriber has to say is that he is willing to start the one person company. Next one is the INC 12, that is called the declaration of the director. The director should declare that he is willing to obtain DIN number from the register of the companies. The last one is INC 22 has to be filled up, because when the person is going to form the one person company, he is thinking in his mind whether to start the company. If he is thinking to start the company, he who is doing all the paperwork. So if he is willing to buy the office or want to set up the office, In that case, he will say that he will buy that particular office within the stipulated time, and that particular office address would be so and so. That has to be declared in the INC 22. Now coming to the one of the major aspect under one person company related to the nominee. I will make this particular slide very informative, very interesting, so that the concept of one person company would be very clear. As you are aware, as per the Indian Contract Act, the nominee should be major. It should not be minor. Minors are not allowed to enter into contract. As you are aware, there should be a proposal from one side. Second should be acceptance plus proposal plus acceptance is equal to agreement by plus enforceability by law is called as contract. According to the contract, minors are not allowed into contract. Same applies for the nominee. The nominee should be a natural person and can become a member in OPC in case of death or permanent incapacity. इनका मतलब क्या रहता है कि when the nominee is been obtained, when the nominee gives his consent, he should be a natural person. The nominee cannot be Hindu undivided family, he cannot be a partnership firm, he cannot be from joint stock company, or he should not be from LLP. The rule according to the Companies Act, he should be a natural person, means he is just like me and you. He can a member of one person company. Same thing applies for nominee also. Nominee can be changed. In such a case, the change has to be given to OPC. OPC in turn will inform to ROC. So nominee, if in such a case, if the nominee wants to withdraw the consent before he becomes the member, see, one person company is a company, and nominee is the person who is not coming into the picture. Nominee steps into the foot of the one person company as a member only on the death of the original director or the owner. One person company, in this case the nominee, if he wants to withdraw his consent, he has to give it in writing, and this writing has to be given it to the OPC. OPC will discuss in his meeting, regular meeting, that is called general meeting, and during the general meeting he will inform it to the company, and on that particular basis he will inform it to ROC that this nominee wants to withdraw his consent. This all things should be in the written form. After the scrutiny, the ROC, the Register of Companies, will issue COA, that is called Certificate of Incorporation, in INC 11. If now next case, if you want to change the nominee, suppose I am the owner of one person company, I want to throw out that particular nominee, or if I want to change the nominee, this is also possible in INC form 4. He has to give that particular statement. The nominee can be changed since he is not a member, but after the death of the member, he cannot change his consent. I am repeating again, the nominee can be changed since he is not a member, but after the death of the original owner, the owner of one person company, he becomes a member. So after the death, he cannot change his consent. The last request fees has to be paid by the one person company to ROC along with the stamp duty. And if the one person company member, if one person becomes by default a member of two companies, I'm explaining this particular point. Suppose Mr. X is the owner of OPC and Mr. Y is the nominee in that particular company, and during that particular era, if Y, the nominee, also wants to form one person company, he can do that. But if in case he is in other company, Y is the member, that is he is the owner of OPC, but during that particular lifetime X expires, or he has a natural death, then Y automatically becomes the member of X company. Now the situation arises, he is the member of both the companies. So what are the rules and regulation under the Companies Act? Under the Companies Act, the rules is that he has to withdraw the consent within 180 days from another company. So he has the choice to withdraw his name from X company or from Y company. What are the characteristics of the one person company? The minimum as the name suggests, it should be have one shareholder and one director or one member. The second characteristic of one person company is that he can keep 15% as a director. It is mandatory to appoint a nominee, and as it follows, as the name suggests, it is a company. it follows the principle of perpetual succession. That means the company will go on and on. If the directors dies a natural death, still the company would be there into the eyes of the law. Hence, this particular principle of perpetual succession is valid. In case of something goes wrong, the nominee fills up the place of a member and he will run as a one-person company. The next characteristic of the company, one-person company, is that it is a sole proprietorship replacement. Suppose if there are two person, one person is the proprietor and another person is holding a company called one-person company. So if he goes to the bank or if he goes to the financial institution, under the eyes of the banks or under the eyes of the financial institution, the respect would be gained for those person who is the owner of OPC rather than the person who is the proprietor. So the view what has been done by the other persons is that they will give the respect to the person who is the owner of one person company. So it's the government rightly started that particular concept of having one person company. So once again I would like to say it is a it is a replacement of the sole proprietorship. The next characteristic is that the company can be formed by only the citizens of India. That means the foreigners cannot start one person company in India. It is owned by a single owner. It is a separate legal entity. That means the company can file a case in the name of the company. It is not in the name of the director. Every property what they buy, whatever they do the contract, it should be in the name of the company itself, not in the name of the director. It secures the personal wealth since OPC has a separate property. That means no attachment can be done on this personal wealth of that particular person because it is owned by the company. Requirements or the qualifications of the one person company who can form that opening only once again saying that only a natural person like me and you can form the one person company who is a citizen of India can open one person company. Citizenship, that means he should have acquired the citizen of India, then only he can form or establish one person company in India. The rule, if the citizen is traveling frequently out of India, the rules is that he should be in India for more than 182 days in the preceding last 3 years. With the foreigners not being Indian citizen, they cannot form one person company, nor an RI can start up the OPC in Indian government. And last is the operating procedure, and under one OPC, one person can operate only one OPC in India. Now what is the procedure for registration? The person should apply for a DSC. Applying for DSC means digital signature certificate. This digital signature certificate is issued by the central government by the certifying authorities which have been approved by the government of India. The director has to obtain the DIN, that is called director identification number. This director identification number is been issued by the ROC. The person who wants to start OPC has to approve his name by filing an application. As I told you in the form run has to be applied. For the formation of OPC, he should give the supporting documents like PAN card, Aadhaar card, the address proof, the passport or the driving license, whatever he has it, or including the shop and establishment license or whatever the procedure, whatever he has acquired land or office. He has to fill up the forms in MCA, that is called Ministry of Corporate Affairs. He has to upload his photograph, passport photographs. After the scrutiny, the minister, the ROC, where the office is located, the Register of Companies will issue the certificate of incorporation, and his mobile number and his email ID has to be given to them because you are aware in this digital era in 2021, because all the things is done through digitally, like filing of the income tax returns or filing up of the returns or giving the minutes of the meeting to the ROC also is been done digitally. Hence, the mobile number should be kept one, and the email ID should be also been informed to the ROC. Coming to the second last point, that is conversion of OPC. The OPC can be converted both ways. One is voluntary, and second is through compulsory conversion. Regarding voluntary, if I am the owner of the OPC, if I want to voluntary convert, what are the procedure? At least 2 years must be elapsed from since the date of incorporation. Suppose in the month of Jan 2021, if I am forming one person company, in the month of March or April, if I want to convert into public limited company or private limited company, this has not been allowed. You have to wait for at least 2 years. That means in 2023, I can convert from to the one person company to private or public limited company. This particular procedure when the application has to be done in INC 6, and OPC cannot be converted to Section 8 companies. What are Section 8 companies? Those companies who are having the companies which are for charitable purpose, or those persons or those companies who are having the object like a non-banking financial institution, or those who are into the lending business. Now coming to the important part, that is called compulsory conversion. When the courts, when the ROC can order the OPC to be converted into private limited or public limited company, there are two main criteria. Is that one is to give the notice of conversion in INC 5, and if the paid up capital if is more than rupees 50 lakhs, and in that case also there is a compulsory conversion, and if the turnover of that one person companies exceeds rupees 2 crores, which should be average turnover of the preceding 2 years. So first is paid up capital more than 50 lakhs, and second is turnover of rupees more than 2 crores. In this particular era only, then there is a compulsory conversion, because the ROC says that you are owning the one person company. In case if you want to, if you are growing, if your limits are been exceeding, you cannot manage your own, so you have to compulsory convert into private limited company or public limited company. As you are aware, in the conversion which is required for from OPC to private limited company, the minimum 2% should be present as a directors, as a minimum persons, and in case of private limited company, there should be 2 directors and minimum 2 members, and in case of public limited company, there should be 7 members and 3 directors. And in case if there is a default, if the one person company defaults in complying with the rules and regulation, there is a penalty. The penalty is rupees 10,000, and per day offence is rupees 1,000 used to pay for the continuing offences. Going deep into it, when the OPC has the paid up capital, share capital of rupees 50 lakhs, why 50 lakhs? The ROC says that the person, single person cannot manage this much turnover, so he has to increase the staff, increase the directors. So paid up share capital should be more than 20 lakhs. If it is exceeding, then he has to compulsory convert, and the annual turnover of above rupees 2 crores, then it is obligatory to them to convert into private limited company. During the conversion, what are the procedure? The same one person company has to pass a resolution. See, he is the only owner of that particular company. Still into the books of record, he has to said that he has passed the resolution. He has to pass a special resolution because it is a conversion. And after the conversion, the resolution is been passed, he has to inform to ROC on the company's letterhead that I am willing to convert it from public OPC to private or public limited company, and the ROC will approve them. Then there is a process which is going on. Concluding part, I would inform you that particular the one person company, as you are aware, the summarizing thing, the person should be a natural person, he should be a resident of India. The nominee's concern is very, very important. It should be in electronic form, the electronic or written form. The nominee can withdraw the consent before he becomes the member, or if the member wants to withdraw the name of the nominee, if he wants to remove the nominee, that can be also be done before he steps into the foot of the member. The various declaration has to be attached, the memorandum of association, article of association, the declaration, the consent of the nominee has to be also been attached, and there is a compulsory conversion, voluntary conversion, and the procedure I had explained under the concept of one person company under the Companies Act 2013. Thank you for watching this particular video. Thank you once again.